Members, good afternoon. It's the appointed time of the meeting of the House Committee. We have a quorum. I call the meeting to order. Item number 1, matters arising. The Chief Secretary thanked members for attending the anti-chamber exchange session last week, that is, the one on the 25th of June, and for their valuable views on issues related to the development of Hong Kong, such as building Hong Kong into an international legal and dispute resolution center under the 14th Five-Year Plan, the role of Hong Kong as the regional IP trading center, the development of Hong Kong Park in the Loop, and the use of AI. Their input would help the government in taking Hong Kong to seek changes in progress to boost the economy and development. The CS also thanked the LegCo for the efficient scrutiny of various bills. In the first half of the year, 28 bills had been passed. The CS indicated that the government would support the LegCo's work on bills so that those being scrutinized by the bills committees can resume second reading debate as soon as possible. Item 2, Legal Service Division reports on bills and subsidiary legislation. There is one bill referred to the House Committee in accordance with Rule 54(4) of the Rules of Procedure, Betting Duty Amendment Bill 2025, paper number LS 59 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. Thank you. The bill seeks to amend the Betting Duty Ordinance and relevant subsidiary legislation to introduce a new regulatory regime for basketball betting. It empowers the Secretary for Home and Youth Affairs to authorize betting on basketball matches, issue a license, as well as impose conditions, say for example, not to allow those underage to place a bet or not to accept payment in the form of credit card. And it is also proposed that there will be a betting duty charge at the rate of 50% on the net stake receipt derived. The LegCo may, by resolution, amend the rate of the betting duty, that is, by positive betting. For details, please refer to paragraphs 4 to 11. If passed, the bill will come into operation on the date when it's published as an ordinance. In June, the panel on Home and Youth Affairs was conducted. Members in general supported the proposal. We're looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the bill. The bill seeks to introduce a new regulatory regime. Members may consider forming a bills committee. That's my report. Thank you. Members who asked to set up a bills committee on this bill? Mr. Tommy Cheung, Ms. Eunice Yong, and Reverend Kun. We have more than 3 members. Please jot down their names and ask if there are any other members who would like to join. Item 2B, subsidiary legislation. There are 8 items today. Subsidiary legislation gazetted on the 27th of June 2025, paper number LS 60 of 2025. There are 8 items of subsidiary legislation. We'll hear from the legal advisor. First, it is LN 137. It seeks to declare areas of Hong Kong to be geographical constituencies for the election of the 8th LegCo. Please refer to paragraphs 1 to 3. This will come into operation on the 1st of August. We have not identified any drafting or legal difficulties. That's it for my report. Thank you. Regarding this legal notice, any members who would like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. No. Please continue. Next are 2 legal notices, namely LN 138 and LN 139. The notices seeks to make an announcement on the basic pensions and pensions payable for ex-officers and dependents, especially when widows and orphans of officers. It will be increased by 2.1%. This is done in accordance with an established mechanism to reflect the average CPIA between the 1st of April last year and 31st of March this year. We have not identified any legal or drafting difficulties. That is for LN 138 and LN 139. Thank you. For these two legal notices, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. No. Please continue. The next one is LN 140. This is to amend the food adulteration and metallic contamination regulations to update and to add the maximum level of metal. The effect is that a person must not import, consign, deliver, manufacture, or sell for human consumption any specified food or compounded food which contain the specified metal in excess of the maximum level. There will be a grace period of 18 months. Please refer to paragraphs 12 to 15. In October and last year and April this year, the panel on food safety and environmental hygiene was consulted. Members supported the bill, but they expressed concern that the raising of maximum levels of certain metal may increase food safety risks. This will come into operation on the 5th of September. We have not identified any legal or drafting difficulties. LN 140. Members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. Please continue. The next ones are LN 141 and 142, two legal notices. In relation to LN 142, it aims to amend Schedule 2 of the immigration regulations to adjust 18 items of fees payable. That includes the issue of travel passes, visas, entry permits, re-entry permits, and documents of identity. The purpose of LN 142 is to amend the schedule of the Hong Kong SAR Passports Ordinance to increase the prescribed fees for the applications of issuance or amendment or making of endorsement of the SAR passport. It is considered that it is impractical to recover full cost of the fees in one go. Hence, this time the increase proposed will be around 3% to 51% with a view to achieving full cost recovery gradually. Please refer to paragraphs 20 to 22. Well, an information paper was sent to members. Members expressed no views. These two will come into operation on the 8th of September. We have not identified any legal or drafting difficulties. That's my report for LNs 141 and 142. Members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. Mr. Vincent Chang and Ms. Nixie Lan, as well as Mr. Stephen Ho. We have 3 members. I'll ask the clerk to circulate papers to ask for indications. Please continue. Next is LN 143. It is to amend the Schedule 4 of Public Health and Municipal Services Ordinance to set aside 8 places for use as public pleasure grounds. The effect is that these 8 places will be under the management of the LCSD. In addition, 2 public pleasure grounds will be renamed and 2 places will be removed and they will cease to be set aside for this use. Please refer to paragraphs 25 and 26. In June this month, the panel on Home Affairs, Culture and Sports was given the information paper. Members raised no comments. This will come into operation on the 5th of September. We have not identified any legal or drafting difficulties. That's in relation for LN 143. Members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. Please continue. This is the last item of subsidiary legislation. LN 144 is a commencement notice. It seeks to appoint the 1st of January next year as the day when the Protection of Critical Infrastructures Computer Systems Ordinance comes into operation. The bill was passed in March, aiming to protect the security of computer systems of Hong Kong's critical infrastructures. A Bills Committee was formed to look into the bill. The Legal Services Division did not identify any legal or drafting difficulties. This is in relation to the commencement notice LN144. That's my report. LN144, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. If not, members, in relation to the 8 items of subsidiary legislation, the deadline for making amendment is the Electoral Council of the 30th of July. If there is any extension, it will be the council meeting of the 3rd of September. Item 3, business for the council meeting of the 9th of July 2025. This is the latest agenda. We have questions. 1, first reading, Basic Housing Units Bill. The House Committee will handle this bill in the next meeting, that is the one on the 11th of July. And then there are 2 members with no legislative effect. One from Mr. Duncan Chiu, motion on studying the enactment of a cybersecurity law and building a comprehensive system against cyber fraud. The other one is from Mr. Edward Lau, on dynamically planning and consolidating the site to expedite the development of the North Metropolis University Town. In addition to these 2 items, there is also the report number 17 of 2025 of the House Committee on Consideration of Subsidiary Legislation and Other Instruments. It will be laid on the table. On this report, there are 13 items of subsidiary legislation. The period of amendment will expire on the council meeting on that day. No members have indicated that they would like to speak. Item 4, business for the council meeting of the 16th of July. Questions. The list of members who have been allocated question slots has been uploaded on the electoral website. B, government bill first reading and second reading debate to be adjourned. The Secretariat has not received any notice. C, government motion. Similarly, the Secretariat has not received any notice. D, members motion. The first one is from Mr. Gary Chan. It's on reviewing the priorities of public works to ensure enhanced speed and efficiency of key projects. The second one is from Mr. Frankie Yik on building an elderly-friendly living environment. The wording of these 2 motions has been uploaded onto the electoral website. Members, if you would like to make amendments, the deadline for giving notice is the 9th of July, which is Wednesday. Item 5, reports of bills committees and subcommittees. There are 4 subcommittees that will make a report to us. The first one is report of the Bills Committee on Supplementary Medical Professions Amendment Bill 2025, paper number CB-31063 of 2025. We'll now hear from the chairperson, Dr. David Lam. Chairman, the bill seeks to 1. Rename the Supplementary Medical Professions Council to Allied Health Professions Council, the Council for short. 2. Enable physiotherapists and occupational therapists to provide services directly to patients without doctor's referral under specified circumstances, direct access for short. 3. Enable allied health professions to accept referrals from registered Chinese medicine practitioners, CMPs. 4. Revamp the composition and roles of the council. 5. Provide new pathways for admitting qualified locally trained allied health professions. And 6. Make continuing professional developments a mandatory requirement. The Bills Committee has held 6 meetings with the administration, including 1 to receive deputations. Members in general supported the bill. They were of the view that it would enhance the efficiency of primary healthcare and promote cross-disciplinary collaboration. Members have also discussed with the administration on the direct access arrangement, authority of registered CMPs to make referrals, composition of roles of the council, and registration of allied health professions. Having considered the views of members and the legal advisor, the administration will move amendments which are supported by the Bills Committee. The committee will not move any amendments. The Bills Committee has completed the scrutiny of the bill. Details are set out in the report. The Bills Committee does not object to the administration's proposal to resume the second reading debate of the bill at the council meeting of the 16th of this month. Thank you. If there are no other views, we move on to the second report. Report of the Bills Committee on Statute Law Miscellaneous Provisions Bill 2025. Paper number CB-21326 of 2025. We'll now hear from the chairperson, Ms. Maggie Chen. Chairman, the bill seeks to make miscellaneous amendments to various ordinances, including those arising from the systematic review and amendments to numerous items of legislation, including subsidiary legislation, to bring them into conformity with the Basic Law and with the status of the Hong Kong SAR of the People's Republic of China, technical or consequential amendments, and repeal obsolete enactments, etc. It also includes amendments not arising from the systematic review. The Bills Committee has held 3 meetings with the administration. Members were concerned that some of the provisions to be amended or repealed were clearly obsolete. They urged the administration to step up efforts in examining if there are other obsolete provisions and make good use of technology to help identify them for repeal or amendment. Members have also discussed about include the inconsistency of the amendments, the issues of wording in legislation with a unique historical background. For example, the Block Crown Lease Chun Chow Ordinance, Cap 488. The principle adopted by the administration in considering provisions in existing ordinances, etc. The administration has provided written replies and has also given oral answers in the meeting. Members have also opined that the proposal to replace the references of mainland China with China excluding Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan in the tables of the Insurance Valuation and Capital Rules Cap 41R might give the wrong impression that Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan are not part of China. In view of the comments, the administration would move amendments to retain the references of mainland China in Cap 41R. The administration would, having considered views from the Bills Committee and the legal advisor, move various amendments, including the addition of new provisions and the commencement date of the relevant provisions in relation to the revision of the English name of Hong Kong Macau Ferry Terminal. The Bills Committee does not oppose to the amendments and will not move any itself. The Bills Committee has completed the scrutiny of the bill. The administration plans to resume the second reading debate of the bill at the Council meeting of the 16th of July. Subject to the administration's moving of the amendments, the Bills Committee does not oppose to it. Details of the committee's deliberations can be found in the report. Members are asked to take note. Thank you, Ms. Chen.
If members have no other views, we proceed to the third report. Bills Committee on Gas Safety Amendment Bill 2025. LC paper number CB-21327/2025. I now ask Dr. Hui Simon Lee, Chairman of the Bills Committee, to report. Dr. Lee, please. Madam Chair, the bill seeks to establish a regulatory framework to govern the importation, manufacture, storage, transport, supply, and use of hydrogen that is used or intended to be used as fuel so as to ensure the safe use of hydrogen fuel and help Hong Kong to seize the environmental and economic opportunities arising from the development of the energy economy. The Bills Committee has held 4 meetings with the administration. Members support the bill. They believe the establishment of a regulatory framework for hydrogen will help to create an environment conducive to the local development of hydrogen energy and promote its application. Hydrogen is currently classified as a Category 2 dangerous good and regulated under the Dangerous Goods Ordinance Cap 295. Members are concerned whether the proposed definition of regulated hydrogen in the bill can clearly distinguish between hydrogen regulated under the amended Gas Safety Ordinance Cap 51 and hydrogen not regulated under that ordinance, as well as whether there will be cases where a certain type of hydrogen is subject to dual regulation under both Cap 51 and Cap 295. In addition, members expressed concerns about Hong Kong's strategic positioning in the hydrogen industry chain and the regulations relating to regulated hydrogen to be made after the passage of the bill. Members suggest that the relevant policy bureau should coordinate with the working group on developing low-altitude economy to ensure that the regulatory framework for hydrogen can meet the future development needs of land and air transport vehicles using hydrogen as fuel. Members also suggest that the administration consider developing islands without access to an electricity grid as pilot sites for hydrogen power electricity supply and make good use of Hong Kong's status as an international financial center and the advantages of one country, two systems to promote Hong Kong as a demonstration base for the development of hydrogen energy at both the national and international levels. The administration has responded at meetings and in writing. In response to the views of members and the legal advisor, the administration will move amendments to the bill to revise the proposed definition of regulated hydrogen, referencing the international standard on hydrogen quality, so as to more clearly specify how a gas is defined as regulated hydrogen. The administration will also move textual and technical amendments. The Bills Committee has no objection to them and will not propose any other amendments. The Bills Committee has completed its scrutiny of the bill. The administration will resume the second reading debate on the bill at the council meeting of the 16th of July. If the administration is going to move the relevant amendments, the Bills Committee has no objection. Details of the Bills Committee's deliberations are set out in the report. Please take note. Thank you, Dr. Lee. If members have no other views, the deadline for making the second reading debate on the three bills above may be resumed at the council meeting of the 16th of July. If members would like to make amendments, the deadline for giving notice is the 7th of July. Report of the subcommittee on 4 pieces of subsidiary legislation relating to the Civil Aviation Ordinance. I now ask Ms. Elizabeth Kwok, chairperson of the subcommittee, to report. Thank you, Madam Chair. Among the 4 pieces of subsidiary legislation relating to the Civil Aviation Ordinance, 2 of them seek to promote the development of the low-altitude economy, or LAE for short, in Hong Kong, while the other 2 make textual amendments to the Hong Kong Civil Aviation Investigation of Accidents Amendment Regulation 2024 and specify its commencement date. The subcommittee has held 2 meetings with the administration and invited the public to submit written submissions. During the scrutiny, members expressed support for the 4 pieces of subsidiary legislation and also expressed concerns on a number of issues. Members considered that the administration should expedite alignment with international standards and integration with the mainland and facilitate cross-boundary operations, including establishing a mutual recognition mechanism for the airworthiness of unmanned aircraft, promoting cross-boundary corridors in the GBA, setting standards for training and licensing, facilitating mutual recognition of unmanned aircraft operator qualifications between 2 places, and standardizing the spectrum. In the meantime, the administration should strengthen training for operators in areas such as risk identification, information security, and back-end platform operation to cope with ever-evolving technologies. Members stressed that Hong Kong's LAE is taking off. The administration should explore ways to support the LAE economy industry and safeguard public safety. This includes expediting the launch of commercial operation models for the LAE in different sectors, actively formulating an unmanned aircraft traffic management system, mandating the use of the government's 3D maps and data for LAE projects, and working with the insurance sector to enrich insurance products and reduce premiums. The administration has noticed members' views and indicated that it would closely monitor the development of the LAE, draw on the experience accumulated from sandbox pilot projects, and consider members' views for further enhancements in the future. The subcommittee and the administration will not propose any amendments to the 4 pieces of subsidiary legislation. The subcommittee will submit a written report later. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Ms. Kwok. If members have no other views, please take note of this report. I remind members that the deadline for making amendments to the scrutinized subsidiary legislation is the council meeting on the 17th of July. The 17th of July. If members would like to do so, the deadline for giving notice is the 9th of July, Wednesday. Agenda number 6. Position on bills committees and subcommittees. As at the 3rd of July, Thursday, there were in action 7 bills committees, one of which has to continue with its scrutiny of the bill 3 months after it was formed. There were also in Action 3 subcommittees under the House Committee and one subcommittee on policy issues under a panel. Agenda item number 7, paper of the Committee on Rules of Procedure. Proposal to enhance the operation of the Legislative Council, LC paper number CROP 17/2025. I now ask Mr. Paul Tay, Chairman of the Committee on ROP, to speak. Mr. Tay, please. Thank you, Madam Chair. It is an established practice that before the end of each term of the Council, members will draw on their experience to review and enhance the operation of the Council. Earlier on, the Council conducted a series of reviews. All members reached a consensus on taking forward the relevant proposals based on the review results. At its earlier meeting, the Committee on Rules of Procedure ROP also considered 4 proposals to enhance the operation of the Council. The first proposal has to do with improving the system on performance of duties by members of the Council. As an integral part of the governing team of the Hong Kong SAR, members are fully aware that they should hold themselves to higher standards. Members agree that there is a need to formulate a clear and comprehensive code to assist them in strengthening self-supervision and self-improvement so that the Council will better fulfill its constitutional functions. With reference to the arrangements for the performance of duties by public officers in the relevant codes of conduct, and on the basis of the existing ROP, the code for members of the Legislative Council, or the code for short, has been drafted. The code consolidates and refines the existing requirements comprehensively and systematically, sets out the requirements on members' conduct, ethics and performance of duties, establishes a mechanism for imposing sanctions on members according to the gravity of the misconduct, and enhances the mechanism for declaration of members' interests. In order to tie in with the implementation of the code, the functions of the Committee on Members' Interests will be expanded and renamed as the Legislative Council Supervisory Committee. Any investigation subcommittee formed under the Supervisory Committee must be authorized by the Council to exercise the powers conferred by Section 9(1) of the Legislative Council Powers and Privileges Ordinance Cap 3A2 to investigate complaints referred by the Supervisory Committee. The Committee on ROP notes that in addition to amending the relevant provisions of the ROP and the House rules, the administration will introduce a bill to amend Section 20A of the Legislative Council Powers and Privileges Ordinance, so that the existing arrangement for depriving a member suspended from the service of the Council of remuneration and allowances during the period of suspension will apply to all members suspended under the ROP, including those suspended for breaching the code. The second proposal concerns enhancing the operation of committees with the aim of allowing non-panel members to join policy subcommittees under panels, or panelesi for short, and enhancing the arrangements for duty visits. The salient points of the proposals include raising the minimum membership or participation threshold so that more than half of the members must participate in panelesies or committee duty visits, and the number of participating members must be more than that of non-members. Regarding local duty visits, the restriction that the number of members must be more than that of non-members may be suitably relaxed if the threshold of participation by more than half of the members is met. The third proposal is about streamlining the election procedures of the Public Accounts Committee, the Committee on ROP, and the Committee on Access to the Legislature's Documents and Records, so as to align them with those of other committees of the Council. If the relevant procedures are endorsed by the House Committee, unless amendments are to be made, there will be no need to submit them afresh to the House Committee for endorsement at the beginning of each term of the Council. The fourth proposal is to make certain textual or technical amendments to the ROP and the House rules in light of the new arrangement for providing a verified copy of the ROP on the Hong Kong e-legislation. After review, certain textual or technical amendments will be made to the ROP and the House rules. The arrangement for compiling the ROP will also be enhanced. The 4 proposals above have been detailed in the paper of the Committee on ROP. I ask the HC to endorse the proposals and documents set out in paragraph 18. If the proposals are endorsed, I will move to propose resolutions at the Council meeting of the 23rd of July to amend the relevant provisions of the ROP and to adopt the code. as well as to authorize the appointment of subcommittees under the Legislative Council Supervisory Committee to exercise the powers conferred by Section 9(1) of the Legislative Council Powers and Privileges Ordinance. The above proposals will come into operation on the date on which the 8th term of office of LegCo begins. The Secretary will make consequential amendments to the relevant handbooks for chairman in due course. Thank you, Madam Chair. That concludes my report.
有8位
8 members are waiting to speak. We'll start with 1 minute each. Dr. Tick. I'm a member of CROP. I support this paper. The paper clearly sets out sanctions of inappropriate conducts of members. I think this is a good approach. Yesterday I was asked by reporters whether it would restrict our speech. I would like to say once again that it will not be any restrictions in any form. I would like to make this very clear. Mr. Tony Te. We've had the improvement of electoral arrangements. This is the first LegCo after the improvement. We now have Patriots administering Hong Kong. A LegCo can rationally handle bills introduced by the administration. Public expectation always wants us to do better. We need to continuously improve our system to enhance the performance and conduct of members. The proposal is along this line. On behalf of the 8 members of G18, I'd like to say that we fully support the proposals. I believe that members will put the proposals into action to better perform their duties to serve Hong Kong. Mr. Ben Chen. The proposals makes it very clear about the sanction mechanisms. There is a good system for monitoring the performance of members. It is a good framework of supervision as well. I think it meets public expectation. The DAB supports the proposal in relation to improving the operation of committees, streamlining the election procedure of committees, arrangements of duty visits. I think it will enhance a public mandate. So the DAB supports the proposals. Mr. Lo Wai Kwok. I speak in support of the BPA. We support the proposals to enhance the operation of the LegCo. The enhancement proposals have been discussed for some time, as some other members have said, that we can always do better. If there is a code of practice to enhance the performance of duties by members, of course, we will support it. It is something that the public welcome. There are proposals in relation to the operations of committee, joining of subcommittees, arrangements of visits. They are all very pragmatic proposals. I'm also a member of CROP. There was active discussion. There was an active discussion during the meeting. We'll all speak here to express our views. Mr. Kok Wai Keung, I'm also a member of CROP. On behalf of the FTU, I express our stance. We support the proposals. We are subject to the monitoring of the public. At the same time, we need to monitor our own performance. The code will help us stay disciplined and stay alert. That we have to meet the requirements under Patriots administering Hong Kong. In one of the chapters of Analects, Confucius talked about a gentleman behaving in the correct way. I think that it is our natural duty to assist the government in governance. There is a lot of coverage in the code about ethics, but I think the LegCo is a collective entity. We work together to uphold our image, and we also work together to fulfill Patriots administering Hong Kong. I speak on behalf of C15+ in support of the proposals. That is in relation to the introduction of the code, measures to streamline the operation of committees. We think that these proposals will enable members to meet the high public expectations. We represent the people. In and outside the LegCo, we need to continue to exercise discipline, always striving to do better, to strengthen the foundation of a patriots administering Hong Kong. We have to be careful of what we do and what we say. We have to vigorously perform our duty. We are legislators. We have to act for the interest of Hong Kong SAR as well as our country. Mr. Tommy Cheung. I'm not going to repeat what other members have said. The Liberal Party has had full discussions of these proposals. There is also abundant discussions in CROP. The Liberal Party supports the proposals. This is Regina Ip. I'm not a member of CROP, but I've been following the proposals. Legislators have constitutional duty to do well. We have to meet public expectations. The code clearly sets out our requirements, how to declare interest, and the arrangements of future investigation and sanctions. All these will help to enhance the image of LegCo. I support it. I support them. Members, do you endorse the proposals? The details are set out in paragraphs 4 to 17, as well as Appendix A to F. 8 members have already spoken. Any other members who would like to speak? In particular, any different views? If so, please press the Request to Speak button. If not, well, I've heard from 8 members. They are all in support of the proposals. Are there members who do not support the proposals of an enhancement? If not, I take it that members unanimously support the proposals. So the proposals of CROP are endorsed. There are no other business. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.